past few months, we've covered drought concerns dealing with each sector of the ag industry. As we move into colder months, Galen Erickson says producers should think about their supplies of feed and forages because of how short those stocks might be.
Well, I think with the year we're having and the drought and the higher prices on all feeds, that includes forages, grain, and distillers and other byproducts, one of the concerns we have is a lot of producers have put off some purchasing decisions, and so I worry a lot about having inventory control. Now, the minute I encourage everybody to buy a bunch of inventory, the prices are going to drop. But this might be a good year to make sure you've got plenty of forage, grain, and byproducts, whatever you're feeding, at least tied up and maybe even in control of your own inventory. The other comment I would make is that if you have access to graze and residue or stalks, it'd be also good to get those now because of the nice weather we're having. To be honest, I think some of our concerns going into the fall with the drought on whether that was aflatoxin or nitrates, etc., so far so good. Haven't had any reports of really major challenges. And so the only thing might be nitrate still on forages if you know it's from drought damage. But the benefit of stalks is, that, especially if you're grazing, is that the nitrates are going to be in the stem, and they're generally, don't force them to be grazing the stem because that creates a lot of other energy limitations, etc. So no, I think so far so good. We haven't had, our quality of our feeds are better than what we may have predicted back in August. We will have cold temperatures at some point. So far, actually, having lack of rainfall from a cattle perspective in the winter especially is a plus, because it allows them to maintain their body temperatures even easier than it would if it was cold and wet. So lack of rain is a good thing from a cattle perspective, at least during the winter. But cold stress is something to be prepared for. You know, if we do get some moisture and cold, that's probably the most complicating factor. Bedding cattle is very effective at helping them maintain body temperature. Wind breaks, if you can get them out of the wind and give them more comfort, it's always a plus. What cattle normally do in the wintertime under cold stress would be to increase intake, and that's their way of compensating for burning more energy to maintain body temperatures. To be honest though, unless we have major blizzards or storms, cattle are very good at handling cold temperatures, and in fact are more comfortable when it's 30 to 50 degrees outside than they are when it gets warm or real cold.